Hello, I'm Minhyeong Kwon from G10, and I will present about my book report, which is Crime and Punishment. And first, introduce the author of this book. So, the author of this book is Dostoevsky, who was born in Moscow in 1821, and Dostoevsky was introduced to literature at an early age through fairy tales and legends and through books by Russian and foreign authors. His mother died in 1837 when he was 15, and around the same time he left school to enter the Nikolaev Military Engineering Institute. After graduating, he worked as an engineer and briefly enjoyed a lavish lifestyle, translating books to earn extra money. In the mid 1840s, he wrote his first novel, Poor Folk, which gained him entry into St. Petersburg's literary circus. He also wrote many famous novels. And the second part is character. So the protagonist of the novel is Raskolnikov. He's a former student, and Raskolnikov is now destitute, living in a cramped garret at the top of an apartment building. And Sofia is Raskolnikov's love and Marmeladov's daughter. So Sonia is forced to prostitute herself to support herself and the rest of her family. Dunya is Raskolnikov's sister. Dunya is an intelligent, proud, and good-looking as her brother, but she is also moral and compassionate. And the theme of this book is: Are there people who can sing? And I will introduce about summary. So there was Raskolnikov, a so-called Rosaraja, who was deprived of poverty and went on a leave of absence from college. He was said to be driven by poverty but not timid. He had his own solid ideas and it was made into reality. He has been carefully prepared for quite some time to achieve the idea, and by chance of opportunity came and he was extremely excited. In the process, you meet a middle-aged man named Marmeladov at a bar. Her daughter, Sonia, was working as a prostitute, and one day she thought she was getting married as if she were being sold for her family. So the next day came and he would carefully put his plan into practice. Eventually, he kills the greedy old woman in the pawn shop and takes away the life of her brother who happened to see her. After the murder, he feels extreme fear and hallucinations and lives through sickness. Then he is summoned to the police and cannot hide his embarrassment, which he is relieved to know is his poor situation is behind the scenes housing promotion. But right after he comes back, he feels even more afraid. Unlike any other killer here, he hides everything he stole under a stone without touching it. He was confined to bed with a fever continuously. At this time, the letter and money from his mother in years gave him happiness, but on the contrary, it caused a sense of fear and anger. What happened so far, and her brother Dunya will marry an old middle-aged man. He was so angry that he went out with a sick body and met a man named Marmelade. However, Marmeladov was always hit by a wagon and was when he returns home based on his previous meeting, he dies. Raskolnikov, who knew what was going on with Marmeladov, gives all the money he received from his mother to his wife. In this act, he feels satisfied and regains his confidence, and he is reunited with his mother and brother Dunya. Years of reunion have been a joy, but the illness has brought him down. But with the intense care of his friends and family, he regains his strength and slowly gets together. He goes on talking to Dunya with a firm will to oppose marriage. Then Sunya, the daughter of Marmeladov, came to his house and abandoned the prostitute prejudice. As soon after a meeting with the marriage partner of Dunya, who was a bit of a nervous wreck, the whole family finds out that he has taken advantage of their poverty. The marriage was annulled and God saved her. At the same time, everything went as if it was settled when Dunya had a fortune of 3,000 rubles and started the business with her friend Raskolnikov. In response, Raskolnikov succeeded his family and ran to Sonia to confess his crime. Sonia showed some embarrassment, but she also embraced him and offered him words of comfort. It was because even if he did kill it, it was not a selfish act of profit and he was suffering enough. And Sonia encouraged Raskolnikov to confess and he soon confessed. Raskolnikov went to Siberia as a type and Sonia also followed suit. Also, Dunya and Rajok are getting married. Raskolnikov, who has been constantly frustrated in his hometown, finds love and hope for the future. At last, the love of the two was confirmed and they got the light of hope. Throughout the book, Raskolnikov was always sick after his murder. He didn't show up bluntly, but guilt might have weighed heavily on him rather than fear. I also found out how gentle he was in fact. It's not the core, but in the end. I guess it is all because of poverty. In this book, the main character is Raskolnikov, but I think Sonia is the person who should be most mentally imitated. In the first place, she seems to be most in contrast to Raskolnikov's attempt not to inflict damage on the others. Could we or have sacrificed ourselves when we were in the same situation as Sonia? We can embrace the pain of others and at our own expense. And I will show up some words, 5 words, which I was confused to knowing. So the first word is garret, which means floor consisting of open space at the top of a house. And next word is axiom, which means a proportion that is not susceptible of proof or disproof. And next word is overwrought. It is deeply agitated, especially from emotion. And next word is declaim, which means speak against in an impassioned manner. And the last word is expostulate. It means reason with for the purpose of this situation. So my present is finished.